Maybe she was bummed because she thought she caught her sugar daddy in it. It's not the reality.
Hello and welcome to Lord Lukan. This ain't Texas, woo, and you can't hold them. Ha! Because it's time for more love after lockup or love during lockup. And Ayonna's getting sentenced.
So I guess I'm wearing hot chocolate on my face.
Steady on, girl, it's a family show. We'll be analysing some body language with Andy, Pandy and Candice.
The love I have for him is...
And Joey's taking some advice.
When you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Do you ever think dirty talk in your head?
Hello, my delightful human being. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you're well, and big love to those who've subscribed, you beautiful people, and a selection of Belgian sea-themed chocolatey things for the members of the Lukan Manor, including, of course, Mr. Koala and Cassandra Barr, who have rejoined. Apologies for the sound on this one. Barry from the tech division got a little enthusiastic with the volume. Anyway, life, my little pumpkin, is a tricky thing to master. Sometimes you spend your time worrying about what could happen and find yourself acting, well, a little bit extra. Sometimes you're just working so hard to keep your family moving that you feel like your feet are hardly touching the floor. Sometimes you wake up a baseball player and halfway through the day you decide, nope, I want to be a dinosaur. And just sometimes you're riding high, enjoying new perspective on life, then something comes along to sweep all that away and leaves you questioning your life choices. First in line for some questionable life choices this week is Ayonna, over in Lancaster Park.
Today, I'm finally getting sentenced for my DUI charge.
Yes, indeedy, it's D-Day. And not the kind of D-Day that Jamal would have been hoping for. But before they get to that, Jamal just has to clear up all that 2-year business from the car the other day.
Once I sat back, I understood what you were saying, babe.
It was a big misunderstanding. Oh, I see. So let's grab ourselves some popcorn and a big pot of tea as we learn a lesson in Basic Manipulation 101. And if you watch for Jamal's technique, he uses the old "not my exact words" clause.
I wasn't saying like I'm gonna make you wait 2 years to marry you.
Okay, he didn't say he'd make you wait 3 years. He said,
We was hoping to wait like at least 2 years.
Hold up.
so he wasn't making you wait. You're waiting together, probably to see if he can keep his side pieces on the down low for long enough to give him confidence that he can have the whole damn cape shop and still hang around with those strippers without getting busted. Well, that's my take on it anyway. Not saying it's true, of course. So now he's saying that what he meant by hoping to wait 2 years was actually him wanting to wait so he could make it all perfect for her.
To give you the way that you want.
And he was talking from a financial standpoint.
I was talking from a financial point of thing, like
But of course she doesn't buy this. All that jangling a bunch of wedding around in front of her eyes just because it worked last time?
Period. That's right, Daddy. Oh my God, I love you.
Nah, definitely won't work this time.
yeah, no.
You're gonna keep hitting me with these nice answers.
I don't think the answers are your problem. I think it'll more be the questions you'll be asking. But, okay, yeah, so it totally worked. Jamal has mastered saying words that sound like a romantic answer, but they're actually a massive dodgy distraction.
No more secret lies either.
Babe, I'm an open book.
Yeah, don't actually answer the question without a massive pause. Just sugarcoat some words and make them sound vaguely profound. And there you go.
Babe, I'm an open book.
What book do you think you'd be? How to Plow Your Girl's Best Friend and Influence People? By Fanny and Other Animals? But Ayonna's got more than cheaters prowling her savannah. She's got to get on Zoom for a very serious court case. Hope she dresses for the occasion.
Hello, yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Supergirl, that'll sway the judge. I'm sure she'll go live and the judge will say, hold on a second. No one told me she's a Supergirl. Well, that changes everything. Case dismissed. We'll pick up that story a little later in the video, but now we're off to Vegas to giggle at the word craps and see what Andy, Pandy and Candice are up to today. Well, today we're going to be checking her temperature by checking out her body language. So let's watch along together, shall we?
I'm just excited to be out.
Okay, so quite normal, but there's a little disappointed grunt as her eyes leave his and scan down his face. And avoid eye contact, something she does do regularly, but who wants to stare longingly into their partner's eyes?
Very happy.
Not her anyway, perhaps it's shyness. Just because she's an inmate doesn't mean she's invulnerable to being bashful or other submissive behaviors. Just because she exhibits very masculine behaviors and pursuits doesn't mean she won't be interested in the human equivalent of Play-Doh, you know.
So excited she's finally here.
Yeah, here's the side of my head while I look like I'm thinking of escaping. And nothing says I'm excited quite like an Then, my little muffin, there's this bit.
Good, me too.
You?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
And oh my, there's so much to unpack in a 6-second clip. And that is 6 seconds WeTV, which doesn't constitute a breach of fair usage, WeTV. So let's not go trying to claim my videos for spurious reasons, WeTV. Like the 19 you tried claiming in the last 48 hours. But let's just have a quick look at what they tried to claim, shall we? Well, WeTV and all their double-digit IQ wisdom thought that this advert for the charity Hurricane Bullshit was theirs.
Look at this woman. She's just one of the victims of hurricane bullshit. Donate just $1 today and your money can go towards euthanizing this dickhead.
Or this one for Mo's exercise video.
You dream of making those deceptive selfies a reality? Well, fear not, because you too could own the latest fitness trend with slow-mo. Do it or I'll furk you herb. Featuring some of the fan favourites. Hey, look at me, I'm the victim.
Yeah, as you'd imagine, I've appealed. Anyways, back to the armchair analysis. Let's see that clip again.
Good, me too.
You?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
Okay, so in the first couple of seconds, I think they've muted the bit where he says, love you. He does mouth it and it explains what he says in a second. She also removes his hat from her hips. But I think it's more like she may not want him touching her wobbly bits. Let's face it, hippie sidey areas can be a bit of a touchy area for some women, so that doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't want him touching him for, him being him reasons. Then we get,
You?
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
as in, do you love me? As in, could you please reply to me having said love you?
You?
Except they took out the question, so you just get this random do you, without context.
You?
Hence her answer was,
Yeah, I'm happy.
Good.
which is why he answers in a slightly diffused way.
Good.
Blimey, all that from 5 seconds. I have a feeling that the little dewy-eyed Andy Pandy may not measure up to the man he needs to be for a woman like Samantha. I think she'd really prefer a wild one with an edge and a splash of rebelliousness. But I'm sure, like other ex-inmates, they get out and immediately change ingrained behaviours they've had for decades because, Louis said so.
A little overwhelming, but
Yeah.
I'm just glad to be free.
Yeah, you're not free. You've got Pillsbury here doting all up the wall. And don't you worry, you'll be wishing you were back inside in no time, away from this constant shadowing or horny donut.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
And that's another piece of delightful context-free editing, which is presumably to avoid showing how little interest she has in him right now, and so they can let that drip out slowishly over the next season. But I want to know what he said to her to make her pull this expression and run immediately away.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
But don't worry, romance fans. He shows her the truck, and now she loves him.
Oh, I love you.
Good job. Yeah. So what does this love mean to you? Aside from about $3,000 a month.
The love I have for him is
Indescribable, obviously. And I always make this kind of enthusiastic expression when I'm talking about something I love endlessly too. And just to top off all the gifts he has for her, he goes and gives her half his shit.
So before your cigarette, I want to do one thing.
Okay.
Notice how he's withheld her first cigarette in ages until she does it. Wanna be controlling much?
So before your cigarette, I want to do one thing.
Take all your savings and sanity? Go and christen the new truck with Power Tool from the car yard? Actually, I once went to a freak show which had a guy called Power Tool in it. He was a little person who pulled people around the stage with his penis. Then his friend came along and nailed his testicles to a piece of wood. Speaking of nailing your testicles to a piece of wood, Andy Pandy goes down on one knee. And gives the whole sentimental speech thing a try.
You know, your mom came to me in a dream. And I...
What? Your mum came to me in a dream. Turn it in, you cheeky sausage. Of all the crap to spout he's gone for, your mama thinks you should marry thee, therefore you should marry me.
And I
It's an interesting choice of ways to convince your partner. The your mum said so route.
promised her in that dream that I would take care of you.
Shut up. No, you didn't. And don't start crying, bloody hellfire. And so, what do you think her answer is?
Candice, will you marry me?
Oh my gosh.
Then we head over to see what's happening with Tenny. and she's busy being all calm and well composed.
2 more months, basically, at this point, right?
So boring. They're like the Cosbys or something. What's that? You can't compare people to what anymore? What? They're friendly men in the colourful jumpers. Anyway, they're so lifeless and vanilla, and there's really nothing interesting to say, other than, doesn't her daughter look a bit like Cuba Gooding Jr.? Over to Arizona, and it's creepy Rick's turn to woo you with his charms. And he's been at that reunion thing, and must have accidentally given Carol his phone number. And fun niece Veronica is on hand to take the piss.
Talk to you since the reunion.
Yeah, I like her, she's fun. But Rick, who is somewhat humorously challenged, may have given Carol false hope.
Would I like my curtains fixed?
Oops, wrong clip.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. I'm happy for you.
Everyone loves a bit of passive-aggressive emotional blackmail. Maybe she's boiling up Rick's bunny for dinner. Then they talk about Samantha and her ex, who is one of 4 exes. Blimey, look at this guy. He looks like he should have a transparent shirt and a white tiger. Look at that jawline. Then there's Rick, the hell-raising ladies man, who looks a bit like Thanos in this shot, just a bit more sort of molesty. So anyway, Norman Bates gets calls from Samantha, and the niece is like, oh, he's so into you, and he's all like,
Yeah, he's crying.
Stop it.
he's not crying at all, really, is he? And what did she actually say to make him fake well up? Not a lot. Just that she's missed out on some time that she hasn't seen him. I guess that's between the 4 husbands that she had in that time. But aside from those people and those years, she's totally been thinking about him all the time. Downtown thinking about how he's just spent a load of money on not her or her coffee.
And then also not getting any coffee, that's gonna make my life really miserable too.
Sounds like a you problem to me. But because he's got some newish threads and gives half his pension to his ex-wife, he's not able to play ball this month.
It's, finances are a little tight, so.
4 ex-husbands, you say? Can't imagine why.
Body wash, no lotion, no nothing.
I'll get it figured out.
But Samantha is super unhappy. And creepy Rick uses all his mustard to sound vaguely human and vaguely emotionally engaged.
I don't want you getting upset.
Okay, good start. Let's go for the softly ending.
I'm gonna go back and I'll listen.
Nope, his caring went as far as, you sound upset, so I'm going. Good job, Rick. But don't worry, humor fans. Veronica's on top to rip her uncle in a nice way.
Maybe she was bummed because she thought she caught her a sugar daddy and it's not the reality.
Good job, Veronica. Off now to Idaho, where discount Johnny Depp is buying a coffee. And it's time for Joey and Chris Hansen's turn on a spin in the video. Yeah, great. But this week's Joey's gone to see his agony aunt friend. Actually, I don't think she's his friend. They're just pretending to be, so he looks like he has friends and, she gets a little highlight for her career.
It's also hard being taken. It takes a lot of work. No, it does, sorry.
Really? I've got to say, I've not found it all that hard getting naked. Keeping my clothes on has been something of a challenge at some points in my life, but nudity's never exactly represented a great deal of trouble. Unless that was a naughty joke and it totally went over my head. But then again, I've never gone out dressed like this, so what the hell do I know about difficulty getting undressed? Anyway, Minerva, named after the Roman goddess of wisdom, has some advice, kind of.
When you're by yourself. Yeah. Yeah, do you ever think dirty talk in your head?
Okay, so this conversation is probably going to be advertiser unfriendly, so I'll try and keep it PG-13. So she's asking if he ever talks dirty to himself by himself. I mean, what the hell do you even say to yourself? Come on, big boy, do you give yourself pointers? Then apologize to yourself for arriving first? This is all very complicated,
Oh yeah. Do I? Yeah, I guess I kind of do.
But Joey's prepared to pretend like he does too, just because he'd hate everybody to find out that he's prudish.
In the past, it's been in my own head, I'm like, ew, dirty Dean, but he has a nice.
And that's a very similar expression to the one that I was wearing too. And then he goes and asks her,
What's your go-to move?
Well, oh my goodness.
If you've got a grandma in the room, please locate her in a position out of earshot. It does get a little turbulent.
You also want to really have a lot of saliva going on if you can.
Oh, alrighty then, I'm gonna go bleach my short-term memory. And while I do that, here's Joey one more time.
I don't want to be his mom. I don't want to be his drill sergeant. I don't want to be his probation officer.
Yeah, he'd rather be the cop, native Indian, or the construction worker. Another cheeky village people joke. High five, Venus. Back now to creepy Rick, and he's off to meet his buddy for a game.
Thanks for coming out and meeting, man.
Yeah, man. Fantastic. Let's do this.
Okay, so I don't know anything about Dan, but something tells me he's a bit of a cool dude. Note the fist-bumping middle-aged man who shaves his sideburns too high. Maybe I'm being judgmental, but I'm guessing he's the cool guy in the accounting firm. You know, he's the one doing the David Brent impressions unironically, and is subscribed to Andrew Tate's newsletter. Those sideburns, though, that's one of my pet hates. Why shave them all the way up there? So anyway, Dynamic Dan and Creepy Rick are going to play some kind of kids game with plastic bats. Yes, I know there's probably some very grown-up name for this, but I see plastic bats and a plastic ball. That equals a child's game. Over here in England, most of our sports require a mild concussion before half-time, or they send out Morris dancers to amputate your little toe. Anyway, back to Rick. Actually, no, one more thing about Dan. His laugh. Ugh, that laugh just says, guess who goosed the cute intern, doesn't it? Anyway, Rick's happy.
I'm happy.
That's a happy sneer, just in case you wondered. Now brace yourselves and please take your contraception, because Dynamic Dan and Creepy Rick are hitting the court.
Coming at you.
Damn, man.
Gotta hit it over the net, though.
You may have thought Maverick and friends looked pretty good, all sweaty on a volleyball court. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. I know, you need to sit down after that, right? But there's no time because Dynamic Dan has a big question for Creepy Rick.
Do you want to marry Samantha?
I wonder how many times I had to shoot that before he actually caught the ball. Now, there are many ways to answer this question, but Creepy Rick seems to have opted for the cringy Tom Cruise style.
Yes, dude, I do. Right.
Have you ever felt this way before?
She's the one.
Oddly enough, both statements seem to be equally as creepy as they were misleading. But apparently Samantha builds him up. But, I'm not saying that at all. But, Creepy Rick says so it must be true.
Sammy builds me up, makes me feel like I'm worth something.
Yeah, at least $1.50, or, coffee. Grab your coat, we're off the Yukon to see Tenny and Nob. Snore, back to Andy Pandy and that proposal of his.
Yes, I'll marry you.
And there you have it. And Andy Pandy also manages to achieve something that we rarely see on these lockup shows. He not only got the right hand, but the right finger too. Good job. So they have a lovely convincing kiss. Which would have been more convincing if she wasn't kissing his cheek. But I'm sure the next one will be much more genuinely romantic.
And his kind.
Third time's a charm.
Well, the important part is...
Yeah.
He's gonna smother her, isn't he? Maybe that's been his thing in relationships before. Bit clingy, bit immature, bit in need of a bit of scuffing around the edges. But, anyway, fourth time's a charm.
Okay.
Let's leave them and get acquainted and go back to boys to see Joey. And he's checked into a motel to practice what Minerva taught him.
Getting ready to do a video.
Really? He's booked into a motel for a little online knuckle shuffle with his boyfriend, and we have to come along and watch. What the hell is up with this season? Last season it was all about the lady bosses. Before that, everyone thought there was some sort of famous rapper. And this season we got all naughty with strippers and self-love. So they talk about blah blah dating sites. I got bored and we end up with their owner for the last time, and we find out about the whole court thing.
This judge was very, very, very disrespectful.
I love that they've actually got included a transcript, which I will read to you now in my delightful British accent. I'm sorry. So after 50, I'm sorry. I didn't know all of this. It's like every time I come to court, I have to pay more. It's like I just got a 3,000 thing say yesterday. I have to pay this. And I'm sorry, it's just overwhelming. It's like every time I come to courtroom, it's just more and more and more fees. Well, then you probably should try not being involved in getting arrested, and then you won't have to pay the fees. Miss Ayonna, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my daughter ready for breakfast, and she just woke up, and I'm like trying to... No, Miss Ayonna, I'm about to continue this matter until you can be here in person, which will be next week. Let's do that, okay? Because we're inconveniencing you clearly. No, you're not. Your Honor, I'm a single mother. I have no other help here with my daughter. She just woke up, literally just woke up 10 minutes ago. I'm trying to get her breakfast and something. We don't catch the rest of this bit, but then we get, so we was already set, but you told me that we had to do it today. Ms. Ayonna, I'm on the edge of continuing this to next week. Are you ready to proceed now? Yeah, is it okay that I give my daughter breakfast? Is that okay? No, it is, we're in court here. This is a court proceeding. Okay, just be hungry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll just say, and that's all we really get of that bit until she gives us a little bit more later.
She got a rotten ass attitude, so now she's gonna take it out on me.
There's definitely a bit of attitude here, but I'm not sure it's the judges.
Because you're a judge, I gotta kiss your ass to get a good saying.
So Ayonna ditches the battery pack and mic and manages to talk without moving her lips.
Here, come on. Here, y'all can get this off me.
Why do they do that? They could have reframed the shot in post so we didn't see her face or, cut to something else. But no, just blatantly overdub when she's not even saying anything.
Here, come on. Here, y'all can get this off me.
That's the level of amazing you get from WeTV, But then Jamal says the truest thing I've ever heard him say.
I'm not.
It ain't about you, though.
And that, my dear viewer, was the end of the show. Thank you so much for joining me on that little gleeful trip. Kindly subscribe to the channel and maybe check out one of these other little nuggets of joy. I hope to see you again soon, and until I do, stay beautiful, love to my three. You take care of yourself.
Please subscribe now for our like. Thank you.